بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نرحب بالأستاذ محمد سيف الدين المعروف بمو محمد في هذا اللقاء. الأستاذ محمد سيف الدين سوداني الأصل، أمريكي الجنسية، محامي معتمد بولاية فيرجينيا، وعضو سابق في مجلس بلدية مدينة الإسكندرية. أطلق حملته الانتخابية يوم 13 أغسطس 2025 للترشيح لعضوية الكونغرس الأمريكي. مرحبا بك أستاذ محمد، وعايزين منك نبذة تعريفية عن النشأة والمراحل التعليمية والخبرة العملية.
السلام عليكم واهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بك وشكرا للاستضافه. كما قلت الاسم محمد سيف الدين، من السودان، مولود في القضارف، وبعد ذاك رحلنا وسكننا في الخرطوم قبل ما رحلنا للولايات المتحده. الخرطوم سكننا في بحري وبعد ذاك جينا الولايات المتحده في نهايه التسعينات. فنشأت هنا في ولايه فيرجينيا قريبه لدي سي، وقريت الهاي سكول هنا والميدل سكول في المنطقه دي، في منطقه كلها نورثern فيرجينيا. وبعد ذاك درست علم نفس في مدرسه اولد دومينيون يونيفرسيتي برضه في ولايه فيرجينيا. بعد دراسه البكالوريوس في الساينس في السايكولوجي مشيت لمدرسه القانون وجبت دكتوراه في القانون، نقول جورج دكتور جي دي في امريكا. وبعد ذاك باذن الله والحمد لله مريت في البار ودخلت الممارسه. في نفس الوقت كان لما كنت في مدرسه القانون مشيت في الهاي والهاج، وكنت اكسترن في the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia. بعد ذاك رجعت الولايات المتحده فيرجينيا، واحسن الناس يعني معانا، ودخلنا كان انتخابات ابتدائيه في الكونغرس، مش الكونغرس، في السيتي كونسل. وباذن الله والحمد لله بدينا، ويعني انتصرنا في الانتخابات ودخلنا وعملنا حاجات كثيره ممكن نتكلم عنها بعدها. وبعد ذاك هو كان الحمله بدت، وبعدها بقيت اشتغل مع الحكومه الفيدراليه في agency اسمها the Department of Labor، واشتغلت معاها قريب 6 سنين يعني كده، ونزلت منها قبل كم شهر كده، ودخلنا بعد ذاك الحملة الانتخابية تحت الكونغرس دي. فدي خلفية بسيطة عني، يعني إن شاء الله
نعم.
غطينا السؤال كله.
No, very good, very good. But the next question I expect you to answer in English. Why did you decide to compete for a seat in a Congress?
Shukran lek. So that's a very good question. Why did I decide to put myself up and run for Congress? Well, so as I just mentioned, I worked for the U.S. Department of Labor for the past 5 years, and I resigned in protest of the Trump administration's attack on the civil force and on our democracy. At the same time, people here in Virginia, especially in the 8th district, can't afford a home, can't afford a doctor, or even groceries. And when people do buy groceries, they're actually making them sicker and not healthy. So these issues are central to our campaign, and we want to make sure that we have representation. We want to make sure that we have someone who understands the struggles that people are facing in this district. So it's time for a new generation of leadership in Congress, and also to show people that the Democratic Party is alive and well. So we're the life support of the Democratic Party. So these are the things that I'm running on and why I'm running on them. And I think, there's strong support for them amongst the American people generally.
Okay. Yeah, actually the following questions it might be really related to the second questions.
Yeah.
What are the main messages you are promoting in your campaign?
Yeah, thank you. That's a really good question. So we're talking about accountability and affordability in our campaign. Accountability for the do nothing, establishment Democrats who allowed us to get to this point, to allow the Trump administration to get us to a point we are nearing fascism, if not already there. So our attack on our democracy, that's accountability. The other is affordability, right? This is an economy where only the rich 1% are thriving, while the rest of us are working hard and aren't thriving. So we're talking about ability to afford a doctor, meaning universal health care. The overwhelming majority of Americans believe that there should be care to all people residing in the United States. We just don't have that. It's not being seriously pushed in Congress. That's one thing. The second thing we're talking about is the ability to afford a home so you can raise a family. This is a really serious issue. Back in 2000, the average home buying age was 30. حاليا is as of 2024, the average home buying age is 38 to 40. So people can't afford a home. Congress can do something about it, but they aren't. In fact, 66% of Americans believe homelessness or unhoused people are homeless or unhoused because of the high cost of homes. So this is something that the people have calling for and we are fighting for. The second thing we're talking about, ending endless wars and investing that money here in our people in the United States and in the 8th district. Uh, Another issue that I really is close to me and my heart is the ability of people to afford groceries. People shouldn't have to make a decision whether they should, buy milk, eggs, or pay a bill. It just doesn't make any sense. And we also have to make sure that the food that we put on our table and feed our kids is safe. So toxic food is something major that we need to take on. So healthier America is a better America. And I'll pause there, but certainly there are other issues that we want to take on: labor issues, unemployment, sort of these really home issues that we want to tackle. Happy to discuss them in depth as well. My background in Alexandria, the city council, shows that I have the ability to do that. And excuse me, I have done it and delivered and passed major legislations on these issues, including supporting union workers, the right to unionize and bargain as well. So very grassroots campaign.
Good job. Okay. I want to ask a question about potential supporters. Which
Yeah.
group or sectors do you expect to receive support from them?
Well, as I said, we expect to have the support of everyday Americans, everyday people who are struggling to make ends meet, the people who can't afford a home, the people who can't afford a doctor, the people who are sick and tired of groceries being too high. That's basically 99% of Americans. That is 99% of people who live in this district. This is about the 99% of us who are now taking on the 1% who are controlling the economy and all our resources. So those are the people I expect to support. Of course, with any campaign, I would love to have the support of my community, whether it be the Sudanese community, the African community, the Muslim community. That is going to be our foundation. And then we have our colleagues, allies on the liberal progressive movement, even on the socialist movement. We welcome all their support and hopefully we'll have it down the road. So plenty of people, labor as well. So we're counting on a people power campaign, not corporations.
Okay. Yeah. Just like the third question, the fourth question I ask you, I want to just to go in more specific about funding and cost.
Yeah.
How do you assess the cost of your campaign? And what are your expected sources of financial support?
Yeah, that's a great question. Really, we can spend an hour talking about campaign finance, money, dark money, Citizen United, but we won't get into all of that right now. Happy to come back and discuss it next time. But really, a campaign like this, a grassroots campaign, is we expect our source of funding to come from the people. So we're asking people to donate any amount that they can at moveforcongress.com, whether it be $1, 8, 100, 3,500 is the max. If you have that, we'll take it. But if not, we'll take anything that we can get because it would help us make it to the next level. Now, to talk numbers and get a little bit into the sauce, our opponent is well resourced and already has quite a big purse. So, to take on that and make sure that we are reaching the people that we need to reach, so our campaign is viable. Really, we are estimating to raise anywhere between $700,000 to $1 million, and that's the magic number for us to win. So to get to that number, we really need the support of the people, our community to begin with, and then we can move forward. But yeah, it really takes a lot of money to get to that seat, and that's why sometimes people feel unrepresented, people feel unheard, because by the time they get to the general election, candidates like myself or candidates that they would love to see or see themselves in, candidate who understands the struggles that people are going through, are usually aren't at the general election because they're weeded out due to the money. But that's why we're focusing strongly really on making sure our message is heard by the people, get the money in so we can reach a wider audience and get the voters in and inform them about these issues and what's important to us. So that's where we intend to go and hope to get there with the people's support.
شكرا جزيلا أستاذ محمد على هذا اللقاء وعلى شرح برنامجك الانتخابي، ونتمنى من الجميع دعم حملتك الانتخابية ماديا ومعنويا، ومع أطيب التمنيات لك بالتوفيق إن شاء الله.
Can I add one more thing before?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, no worries.
Yeah, and I appreciate all that. We talked about endless wars and what have you. I was hoping to get a little bit about the situation in Sudan, which will be a major, issue for me, whether now or when I'm elected to Congress. To make sure that there's peace, stability in Sudan, specifically hold all the bad actors accountable, including the United Arab Emirates and all the other neighbors that the Sudanese people thought that they can count on, but they did not. So hope to engage with the Sudanese community about that issue as we move forward down the road.
It is an honor to see a Sudanese running for Congress in US, and we're going to support you. No doubt about that. Thank you. Thank you very much, Muhammad.